Welcome, everybody. We are live with another episode of Zoom In with Zach. I owe you an apology. I was supposed to have some intro music this week, and I totally dropped the ball. But we're going to get back to that at some point. Today is a special show because it's a first. And after the intro, I'm going to tell you why it's a first. But this is the first ever on Zoom In with Zach. But I want to start you off with this awesome quote that my guest loves from the awesome Michelle Obama. And I live by this as well. Success isn't about how much money you make. It's about the difference you make in people's lives. That is on God. Preach. Let's go. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Zoom In with Zach. It is Zach James here, your Zach of all trades. Super excited to have another show. This has been a very, very tough month. I don't even know if I'll do another show in October. This might have to chill till November, but that's why it's random. That's why we do different times. You know, life work has to come first. But please make sure you are liking, you are commenting, you are sharing the show. I have an awesome guest here, and I'm actually going to be inundating you with her over the next week or so. I'm super excited to have her here. And again, she gave me this awesome quote that I said I live by. I know she lives by it. But without further ado, I want to introduce you to the awesome Keshia ButlerThomas. Keshia, how you living?
Hi, friends. I am fabulous. How are you?
I'm doing good.
That's
doing good. Make sure, folks, again, share the show, like the show, comment, because, like, you already know I bring the energy, but like Keshia's like another level. It's rare that I get to like pair up with someone who's like next level, more level than me. And as I told you in the beginning, this is the first. Keshia, you are the first person I've had on my show that I met since the pandemic started.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I've been holding people off saying this is only for people that I go way back with, people that I know. And not only have I not met you since the pandemic, I think I met you like a month and a half ago, like 2 months ago. Now, I knew of you on social. In the digital space, we've known of each other to some degree. But it was Ashley Owens, who was one of my former guests, who's a dot connector just like myself. And we met at a happy hour she had. And I was like, oh, I know her from the gram. Like, let me talk to her. And we hit it off. And again, I've been such a fan of how you present what you do. How you educate folks on social media. And I said, why would I not have a social media guru on a show that's live on social media? Like, it doesn't make any sense not to.
Yeah, kind of goes together.
Kind of goes together. But I would love for you to tell people a little bit about what you do so they can be as enamored as I am.
Sure. Okay, so first of all, shout out to you for knowing me from the brand, because that's what we strive to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes me really happy. I hope my team is watching this. Y'all see that? This is why we do what we do, and I'm crazy about it. But I am Keshia ButlerThomas. I am the CEO of Purposeful Life, Solution-Focused Life and Business Coaching, and I help entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and side hustlers start, build, or scale profitable businesses using social media. In addition to that, I am also a TV host. I host Stop Surviving, Start Thriving with Coach Keish on RBN TV Network. And I also host every Tuesday and Thursday morning coffee live on RBN TV Network and Roku TV. So super excited to be here with you to talk all things social and whatever else we'll talk about, because it's Friday and that's how it goes.
It is Friday and it's been a week. I'm glad it's over. As I was telling you pre-show, we had 2 Eagles games this week, which for me means a lot of work in a short amount of days. But I'm looking forward to this weekend without having to work a game. And guess what? I'm looking forward to next week. Shameless little plug down here. Like I said, I was going to inundate you with Keshia all week. We actually have Keshia as our guest on Thursday Thoughts on Thursday at noon coming up. So make sure you guys check us out. I will be sharing that on LinkedIn. Of course, make sure you're following Navitas Marketing. You can find it on all their pages. I've posted it. Keshia's posted it. So it's everywhere. But on that, we're actually going to dive into social media a bit. Here, I want people to know just about you, but we're really going to get into that nitty gritty of social media. But before we even do that, I do want to give a little bit of context about what you do. Like what I see is I just see like your social media presence is awesome, and you kind of present it in a way that makes other people comfortable with doing it. Like, can you talk a little bit about that? Like how you try to teach people social media through your own social media?
Yeah, absolutely. So, social media actually kind of fell into my lap. So, I have been a certified business coach for quite some time. And of course, like everybody else, pre-pandemic, I did IRL business and real life business, right? And I found myself in a situation like everybody else who needed to pivot. But one thing about me is I'm never going to do things the way that everyone else does. If it's not who I am as a person. I like to consider myself a little bit of a rebel. So with that, I was like, you know what? If I'm going to get on social media and I'm going to be here, I am going to be raw, real, and authentic.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that a lot of people talk about authenticity and it's like such a buzzword and it sounds good, but nobody's actually authentic. We're in these curated places, it's these curated photos and videos, and everything is perfect, right? Nobody's willing to get on the internet in their scarf while they're putting on their makeup to have a conversation with you. But I'm willing to do that.
Right.
And so what I found was the more real and raw and honest and Keshia I was, the more my business was growing. And so I found that there were other people who were trying to get mixed and mingled in this social game, but they just could not give themselves the permission to be real.
Mm-hmm.
So I launched an academy that is rooted in that. I can't tell you how many times I've had people come to me like, I feel like my post was falling to the bottom of the pile. I feel like nobody's listening to me. I'm posting nothing happening. I'm like, that's because it looks like everybody else.
Right.
Just like you. So if you see my posts and you see the things that I say, it's always from a super real honest place. I promised myself that that was the only way that I was going to do business when I became an entrepreneur, and even through the phases when I was a side hustler, when I was a solopreneur, right? I made a conscious decision that they were going to get Keshia, and so that's what I did, and I teach my clients to give whoever they need.
Gotcha. That's awesome. And of course, under the video, we'll post some details about all that good stuff. Actually, you know what? I got your website. Let me put that up on there. Life Coach Keish. That's where you gotta go. That's where you gotta go. Now, as we always do on Zoom In with Zach, we got to get to the 3 random questions. All right. Okay. So you got to give me a 3-digit number. None of the numbers can be the same, and you're going to get a question that corresponds with each number. And I got a pen. I'm ready to write your number down right now. What you got?
Okay, my first number, 924.
924. That's a solid number right there.
That's my birthday.
And one more plug before we get into your first question for folks watching. Season 2 of the Demystifying Diversity podcast debuts November 2nd. It's coming up very, very soon. Our first episode is all about Indigenous people. Super excited for this. Many of you know I've been working with Darylise Lyons on this project for the last 1.5 to 2 years. And we're just super pumped for season 2 to come out. And the School of Sport, Tourism, and Hospitality Management, shout out, go Owls, is actually sponsoring this season. So we're actually going to be having a lot of their professors on to do Q&As with us. It's going to be exciting. So super excited for that. November 2nd, I'll be flooding LinkedIn timelines and all that good stuff with that information really, really soon. Let's get to your question. So number 9. Ooh, okay. Love this one. What's one of the biggest hurdles you've overcome or didn't overcome, and what have you learned from it?
Wow. So it's so funny that this comes on the heel of your plug for Demystifying Diversity, right? So one of the biggest challenges that I have faced is I have always been the only in the room. Either the only woman, the only African American, the only plus size person, all of these different things. I served as the only. And oftentimes, especially when I was in corporate, that was a huge hurdle because I needed to fight for my voice to be heard. And I've never wanted to be the angry Black woman or anything like that, or any of those phrases that they put on us. But I needed to be heard because I knew that I had a message that needed to get out.
Mm-hmm.
When I felt like I actually overcame this was when I stepped into my own and became a full-time solopreneur and now entrepreneur. As I found that my real power and what makes my business really move is that onlyness of me and me being able to own the only. And so I'm very, very grateful for all those only moments because they have allowed me to truly be and see myself for who I am.
I love that. I love that. And now, folks, y'all seeing why I had her on here, even though I ain't known her over a year and a half. I knew she was going to drop some gems on y'all. So let's get over to number 2 was your next number. Okay, I like this. If you could work in any other industry or job, what would it be and why?
Ooh.
I want something that got nothing to do with social media.
Ooh. I mean, honestly, I would be like a reality TV star, but like a real housewife. Like, I really feel like I could bring a lot of pizzazz to New Jersey, Potomac, Atlanta. Put me on any of them, and I think I'm taking them all the way. I am the next Mimi Lee.
Okay, I like that. How would your husband feel about that?
He's down.
Okay.
He's down.
That I've always wondered that when I'm watching these shows. I was like, wait, so the housewives, are the husbands on these shows too? Like, do they make appearances?
They do. And some of them are just as crazy. Now, my husband's not just as crazy. He's actually a polar opposite.
Got you.
But he would be down for the cause because he's Team Keshia all day, every day, twice on Sunday. So it's fine.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Okay. Question number 4. So this is actually one of my favorite questions, and it seems like whenever I randomize the numbers, they're not always the same. Everyone keeps picking this one, and it's one of my favorites, so I love it. If you could only listen to one album or artist while you do work, what or who would it be?
Okay, so this is like really ratchet, but this is like my everyday. I listen to Trina all day.
Trina?
Long.
The baddest?
The baddest. I listen to her all day long because it's something so powerful about the way that she speaks about herself. And I admire just the level of confidence that she has had in herself. And it has spanned decades. I love the fact that Trina never signed a mainstream deal because the mainstream deals wanted her to change who she was. And so for me, as a person who works in the mainstream but won't conform to the mainstream, I feel very connected to her music. So even though, there's a lot of colorful language in there, I really do connect to the underlying message of who Katrina is and the fact that she's not allowing anyone to take that from her.
Love it. Got a little Trina playing too.
This is it, Jack. Yeah.
Listen, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for coming on, folks. Make sure you are following Keshia on all her platforms. And hold on, let me throw that at the bottom. So I don't even know how this scroll even fit. You gotta follow Keshia on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok. And I don't think she gave me them all. Clearly, LinkedIn's not on there, so we're on LinkedIn now. Make sure you're connecting with her. But follow her on all her platforms. Learn, soak up knowledge, and make sure you're checking us out next Thursday, where she's actually going to drop some specific gems about managing your social. But again, this has been another episode of Zooming with Zach. So happy to have you here, Keshia. I look forward to growing with you. We're in the same space. Black entrepreneurs who are trying to help other people just make things happen. So yeah. I look forward to working alongside you on some projects in the future. But everyone have a fantastic Friday, a fantastic weekend, and I'm going to leave it to you to close the show.
Ooh, it's on me. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. Thank you so much to Zach for having me. This was so much fun and such a great way to start off my Friday morning. I hope that all of you have a fabulous weekend out there. And until next time, which is actually next Thursday, I'll see you guys soon.